Fuck me good, fuck me grand, fuck me till I cannot stand. That right there is all I need. You'll rank super high for me. Take me out, bring me back, work to get me in the sack. Earn your place between my knees. You'll rank super high for me. Da 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 da. Doobie 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 doobie. There's no fuckability that can't be ranked numerically.
Oh my fucking god!
And you'll rank super high for me. Da 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 da.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Did you write that yourself?
I did.
Oh my god.
Miles, you are so fucking amazing. I love you.
Welcome to Hard Choices, where we rank the fuckability of fictional characters and discover what lies at the throbbing heart of horniness. We find the median, the zenith, and the nadir of fuckability, but really, this podcast is about all the space cowboys we shangchuan along the way. I do not know if those Chinese words mean what I think they mean, but hey, neither did the creators of this series. It's time for Firefly.
Yeah!
I am Miles Schneiderman, and joining me tonight, my fellow crew members of the Fingerfly class boner transport ship Serenity.
Oh, fucking hell.
MeganBob.
You've made me hear the word Serenity, and it's going to live in my brain forever, and I'm goddamn pissed about it, Miles Schneiderman.
Cam Servo.
Duebuchi.
What does that mean?
It means I am so very, very sorry. Please forgive me.
Okay. And Rio.
This river can't blow you up with their mind, but they can blow you with their mind.
Yeah!
Gimme.
Love it. Like most residents of the verse, we are here because we have a job. We've been hired by some fairly disreputable, but admittedly quite attractive clients on Patreon to rank 21 Firefly characters from most fuckable to least fuckable. So we're going to start out with a nice, smooth flight, going around the table and revealing which character was our median, our number 11. But before long, some of our parts will fall off, and we will crash to the ground, where we'll find our number 21, all the way down there. But love keeps her in the air when she ought to fall down. So, to borrow a quote that definitely has zero problematic overtones, I'm thinking we'll rise again.
Oof.
Going a full burn and blasting out of Atmo until we arrive at the character who ranked number 1. As we go through our lists, each host will provide a brief reason for their ranking, though they do have 3 big feels at their disposal, which will allow them a somewhat lengthier explanation. Once everyone has gone through the entirety of their lists, we'll use some Stolen Alliance technology to combine all 4 into a single master list, and then, presumably, spend the rest of the episode on the run from the government. We will take some time to unpack some of the decisions we've made before getting into the overall fuckability of the Firefly universe and relating what we learned today in a plethora of exaggerated accents.
Oh.
At least that's what I was going to do. I don't know what you all are going to do.
Ooh.
Before we start the job, however, it is important that everyone knows the plan like the back of their hand, and for that, we turn to our crew boss, someone who never forgets that they applied the cortical electrodes but were unable to get a neural reaction from either patient. Browncoat Bob.
Fuckability is not about what they look like. It is about what they fuck like. So assume you are into them, they are into you. How good is the sex, and what is it like?
With that, it is very nearly time to unveil our list of 21 characters, but first we do have to do some honorable mentions. These are the characters who might have made it onto the list if they hadn't acted like dicks and gotten kicked into our engine instead.
Number 1, River Tam, Simon's unstable psychic sister and the only main cast member we're excluding, because she's A, traumatized, and B, a teenager. No twice.
Number 2, Hands of Blue, mysterious antagonists with blue gloves who could not possibly have gotten less of a payoff. Really, even in the comics, these two went nowhere interesting.
Number 3, Patience. crime boss on Whitefall who keeps shooting at Mal for some reason. Deserves to be mentioned as a rare older lady badass, but sadly never comes back after her one brief appearance in the pilot.
Number 4, Sheriff Bourne. Sheriff of Paradiso who understands it's a very hard verse out there and sometimes crime is justified, which makes him better than most cops. Sadly, still a cop.
Number 5, Dora Lee. Teacher and nurse to the hillfolk of Jiangyin. Kind of cute, but you might wake up the next day about to be sacrificed out of nowhere. Pass.
Number 6, Stitch Hessian. One of the many people who's been betrayed by Jane and wants revenge. Basically, Kurt Russell's Snake character. But a copy of a copy of a copy, that's all blur and no definition.
Number 7, Fanti and Mingo. Weirdly sexy identical twin crime bosses who we'd love to call us precious, but whose screen time is too limited and whose names are too cats-inspired to spend any more time talking about.
Number 8, the Reavers. Humans driven to insane levels of aggression by an Alliance population experiment gone wrong. Zoe once said that if they take the ship, they'll bleep us to death, eat our flesh, and sew our skins into their clothing, and if we're very, very lucky, they'll do it in that order. Not even Bob has any curiosity here.
No, I don't.
Alright, now the 21 characters who we are going to fuck, which should be a real treat for those of us who haven't recently had anything twixt our nethers don't run on batteries.
Number 1, Captain Malcolm Reynolds. Captain of Serenity. Disillusioned war veteran with a heart of gold. What if the Confederates weren't fighting for slavery? Backstory. And a slathering of aw shucks Nathan Fillion charm. Also a pretty smile. And a goram great butt.
Number 2, Zoe Washburn. Serenity's first mate, and just like Mal, you want her in your corner because she will find her way out of any corner she's put in. A warrior woman who also looks great in a slinky dress.
Number 3, Hoban Washburn. Wash. Serenity's ace pilot who was smart enough to get rid of a terrible mustache to be with the woman of his dreams. He puts the mono in monogamy. Were he unwed, he would take you in a manly fashion.
Number 4, Kay Widdett Lee Fry, or Kaylee, Serenity's mechanic who will do anything and anyone to get a good look at something with gears. She doesn't mind getting dirty, but don't let that fool you. This is a girl who loves a big poofy dress and feeling like a princess sometimes too.
Number 5, Dr. Simon Tam. Not until the last 5 minutes of the movie do we see Serenity's formerly rich, fugitive Dr. Simon Tam without his shirt off, and this is a travesty to all the viewing audience. Having sacrificed nearly all his considerable privilege to rescue his younger sister, he's almost good enough for Kaylee. But he better watch it.
Number 6, Inara Sarah. A gorgeous sex worker renting a room aboard Serenity with a mysterious backstory and a big will they, won't they thing going on with Mal. Her companion training means she's got class, but she can hold her own in the crew just fine.
Number 7, Shepherd Daryl Book. Quiet, kind man of the cloth, with an even more mysterious backstory to go with the gentleness in his timbre and mellow in his tone. Would prefer to save your soul, but can tear you in fucking two if necessary, blessed be the Lord.
Number 8, Jane Cobb. Mercenary with a heart of mercenary, who's very nearly as crude as he is stupid and will turn on basically anyone for the right price. Loves guns, money, and the hat his mom made him. He'll be in his bunk.
Number 9, Saffron / Bridget / Yolanda. We'll just call her Saffron because that was the name she went by in the episode that launched 1,000 Christina Hendricks Google image searches. Pathological liar and companion who loves nothing more than to marry a man as part of a crime scheme before ditching him and moving on to the next one.
Number 10, Adelaide Niska. Ruthless crime syndicate leader with a heavy Slavic accent to let you know he's super evil. If you like older men, pain play, and an audience, this is the torture sicko for you. Don't break his heart, or he'll break your everything.
Number 11, Badger, narcissistic crime boss on Persephone. Fascinated by money, enforcing underworld social hierarchies, and weird girls who can imitate his Cockney accent? Calling him a psychotic lowlife is an insult to the psychotic lowlife community.
Number 12, Commander Harkin. Alliance commander who has almost certainly never been with a warrior woman, has to be dragged kicking and screaming into doing literally one morally good thing because in space all cops are still bastards.
Number 13, Atherton Wing, a stuffy, uptight dandy and expert duelist who can be charming until he doesn't get his way and starts throwing rich kid tantrums. He's a regular customer of Inara's until he fucks up and oversteps. Now nobody will play with his sword.
Number 14, Tracy Smith, old war buddy of Mal and Zoe's, now a professional fuck-up with mussed hair and a crooked smile. High charisma, but very clearly used intelligence as a dump stat. Into Kaylee, organ transplants, and eating beans at inappropriate times.
Number 15, Nandi. Matron of the Heart of Gold brothel, old friend of Inara's, and the only canonical Mal hookup. Strong leader who won't let any man take what's hers, but will use her fine rice wine, dulcimer story, and gorgeous guns to get a man she wants.
Number 16, Jubal Early. Incredibly weird bounty hunter who is probably all the way off the deep end, but who will still kick your ass while spouting bizarre snippets of philosophy. Strangely compelling despite the near-total amorality.
Number 17, the operative. Nameless agent of the Alliance with a sword and a high-class British accent who does terrible things because he believes in a better world. Knows where all your nerve clusters are.
Number 18, Fess Higgins, son of the magistrate of Canton, a sweet virgin boy who becomes a man thanks to one night with Inara and gains the confidence to stand up to his toxic dad. He wears glasses. He's clearly an intellectual.
Number 19, Bester. Dude bro mechanic who was Mal's original choice for Serenity's mechanic until Kaylee fucked him to see Serenity's engine. Good girl. Calling him a genius was possibly the biggest overstatement in human history. Probably smells bad, has the look of a lot of patchouli.
Number 20, the counselor. The only female client of Inara's we see, and the only one we need to see. Inara describes her as extraordinary, and that sounds about right. Again, Jane will be in his bunk.
And finally, number 21, Mr. Universe. Space hacker with his own pirate broadcast station and a love bot that he is apparently married. Answer to the question, what would happen to a less jacked AV Club president Peter Quill after being captured and sent through space-time?
All right, so with those characters in mind, it is now time to get into the lists. So, Bob, why don't you start us off with your number 11?
Bester!
Wow, okay.
Dumb as a box of rocks, but he can fuck for days, and he's got those tattoos all over his body, which means he is up for some bad decisions. Also, willing to fuck next to the engine because Kaylee's hot for it, which means he's pliable as fuck. You just tell him what to do, and he'll do it and then supply the dicking. It's not a good fuck, but it sure as shit ain't a bad one either.
Oddly compelling argument. All right. Rio, what about you? Who's your number 11?
My number 11 is Fess Higgins.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, he got deflowered by Inara. He had to have learned something. She wouldn't let him fly off into the verse without learning how to please a regular woman.
Interesting.
Or people who have those parts.
Cam, who's your number 11?
My number 11 is Saffron.
Okay.
And I'll just say that Saffron may seem unique and something unattainable to many people, but I've had more saffron in my life than most people might have had. And although delightful and surprisingly less lethal than you might think, in fact, unassuming, if you would. I'm gonna just leave it at 11. Not a no. Just,
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I get you.
My number 11's Badger.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Badger's the kind of dude who, like, thinks he's just a little bit better at sex than he actually is. Like, he's not bad, but he definitely thinks he rocked your world when he really just, like, gave your world a decent push.
I'm using that.
Bob, who is your 12?
Commander Harkin.
Wow,
Whoa.
okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it, but I suspect he fucks. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you're gonna.
Rio, who's your number 12?
My number 12 is Bester. Just like Bob said.
Yeah.
Just a dude bro. If he wears anything, it's gonna be Axe.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that is a fuck only out in open air, which, adds to his tan. Win-win.
A lot of airflow through any space. Good ventilation.
Ugh.
Cam, who's your number 12?
My number 12 is Wash.
Okay.
And that is because...
What?
I know.
Oh.
If I pucker up my lips and blow, I don't want to have to hit somebody over the head to get them to do what I want them to do. And I also don't have the patience to convince somebody to shave off their very ugly mustache. So before or after Zoe, it's a no-go.
Okay. All right. You think he's going to grow the thing back afterward?
Well, I mean, we know he's a leaf on the wind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm not recognizing that movie right now. We'll talk about it later.
You have to. You added 2 characters at least.
I know. Anyway, moving on. My number 12 is Book. Shepherd Book is my 12. He's part of a 2-person tier here where I just don't know. Like, it's like his backstory. It's a mostly blank slate with 1 or 2 clues to work with. Does he fuck? Does he have religious hangups about it? Does that make him really, tighten up and can't relax in the sack? Or, is he, super smooth? I don't know. But he does have a baseline sexiness level, just because it's Ron Glass, that makes me think he's got, a high ceiling at the very least. You're going in with, the possibility that it's amazing. I'm giving him the 12 spot for that. Which, honestly, on this list is fairly high. MeganBob, who's your 13?
My 13 is Inara.
Okay.
All right.
You're never going to actually have sex with her. You're going to have sex with her skill set. I don't care how good her skill set is. I don't want to have sex with someone's professional qualifications at sex.
Interesting.
I want to have sex with them. I bet it's amazing as an experience, but it's going to be hollow, so...
I feel you.
Okay, Rio, who's your number 13?
My number 13 is the counselor.
Oh, hey.
It doesn't seem like she would be a bad lay, but she's so stiff. And I would have to massage her, and my hands hurt.
I'm going to jump the line real quick, because my 13 is also the counselor.
Oh, yeah?
She is the other one that I'm just she hired a sex worker, I guess? Is that supposed to tell me about anything? She's I just really don't know about her. She is supposed to be extraordinary in some way. That's the quote, because Inara chose her, and she doesn't usually choose women. But I don't really know if that way has anything to do with sex. So just in case, we're going to slaughter in here at 13. And Cam, who's your 13?
My number 13 is Simon.
Okay.
He's way too uptight. He took 8 billion years to get with Kaylee, who was throwing herself at him. He does know where everything is because he's a good doctor.
Which, fair.
You want to talk about clinical, though? My God.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, my name's Cam Servo. Where you been?
It's true. That would be so up your alley.
Right? But after that, it's too much effort. I just don't care that much.
That's fair. All right, we're down to 14, Bob. What do you got?
Mal Reynolds.
Yes!
Oh!
Okay. All right.
Seems like he's gonna be awkward, honestly. But he's got enough ego that being awkward is just gonna bother him. He's got a real attitude about sex work, and that alone makes me think that he's gonna insist on taking the lead in things, which is fine. That's okay. But this is coming from a place of insecurity, which means that I will not be coming at all.
Rio, who's your 14?
Also Captain Reynolds.
Yeah!
Wow. All right.
Read him to filth.
I thought I was low on him.
Listen, he's just so heteronormative, he wouldn't let anybody put a finger up his butt, let alone somebody he loves.
God, now I feel like I ranked you too high. Cam, who's your 14? Tell me it's Malcolm Reynolds.
No. Sorry. That's too early for him. My number 14 is Badger.
Okay.
He's been seedy enough that he might be interesting. So there's that opportunity, that chance. But honestly, I also will need to take a scrub brush to him for a while.
Oh, man. No, leave him filthy.
I don't there's not enough antibiotics in those worlds.
Yum.
All right, so My 14 is Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of a tier that I call the Space Nerd tier.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude is like basically an incel, but he's an incel who cares about freedom of information and makes his own sex toys. So like, yeah, why not? Like, I'll fuck the guy. Like, I'm not going to be, he's going to invite me. Like, I don't have to worry about him. I don't actually have to interact with him at all. I just have to like go over to the love bot and or like have you make one of them for me. You know, it can be a whole thing. That doesn't necessarily have to involve physical contact with that dude.
Mm.
That takes us to 15, MeganBob. Tell me you've got another beloved character at this point.
I don't know about that. Dr. Simon Tam.
Okay.
A dweeb. Who fucks like a dweeb. Like, truly a man who cannot get out of his own fucking way.
Yeah.
Trash.
My 15 is also Simon Tam.
Yeah.
Nice.
Honestly, maybe a little too good for him, but you know.
Yeah. I have him classified as the deeply insecure and awkward space nerd.
Yeah.
Mal says at one point that he'd have to relax for 10 seconds to get laid, and that is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be, like, terrible, but he would definitely ruin the moment if it was good. Like, if it was good, he would like, say something.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
He would, like, apologize for it being bad, even if it was good, and then ruin it. Or, like, he'd try to compliment you and actually be super insulting, and would ruin it. So, like, even if you get the good sex out of him, he's gonna it's gonna go bad.
You just tell him he's not allowed to talk. That's what you do with those boys. You give them rules and they follow them.
You just put a little bit of tape over his mouth. It's fine.
Just a little bit of gaffer tape.
Rio, who is your 15?
My number 15 is Shepard Daryl Book.
Okay.
There's something about guilt in a person's eye that I kind of like. And he's become a very devout man. And if I can get him to go back on his ways.
Wow.
Because I know a little bit about his background. He used to be a criminal.
Oh, man.
And then a double agent. And so he's got a lot of trauma for me to bring up.
Wow.
This feels like it should be higher than 15, but okay, that's fine.
You want to, like, wreck him. That's beautiful. Good for you.
So imagine what I think about all the other people.
Fair enough. Cam, who's your 15?
My 15 is Bester.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even if he has a big dick, I don't care. It just, ugh.
That means we're on to 16, Bob.
Yep.
Who's your 16?
The operative. He got a hot accent. I'm not lying about that. Like, he is a hot accent.
Oh, no.
He's gonna fuck me because it's part of the plan for a better world. No. My pussy is not a plot point in the plans of a shadowy government agency. My pussy is a plot point in my own story of whatever the hell I feel like. It's very sexy. But he's gonna coldly fuck me like a secret agent samurai and then nod and disappear. Bitch, I am worth a whole series arc. Not a fucking cutscene, you piece of shit.
Bob, I knew you were going to rank him low.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it again much later.
I mean, I still want to, but...
Rio, who's your 16?
My 16 is Atherton Wing.
Mm-hmm.
The boy's got stamina. I think that's all he has.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Oh, man. I forgot the stamina line. That's fine. I stand by my ranking of Atherton. Cam, who's your 16?
My 16 is Harkin. For those of you who recall the episode of Game of Thrones, just kind of reminds me of the same energy as Ned Stark. Just dutiful.
Oh, ah.
Yeah.
Rough.
Workman-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that chicken dinner of a fuck. Just gonna use everybody else's funny lines and move on.
Chicken dinner.
My 16 is Fess. He rounds out the space nerd tier. I call him my toxic masculinity space nerd. Oh yeah, he had sex with a woman, so I'm a man now. I needed the woman to fix me with sex, and now I have principles.
Oof.
Which I wasn't able to have before because nobody would have sex with me. Fuck off. I don't have any time for it. I'm very glad that you got to sleep with Inara. Morena Baccarin's very pretty. But, like, I just don't have time for this, like, you made a man out of me, Dad. I guess now that I have had sex one time with a hooker that you paid for me, now I have found my confidence and my moral compass. go to hell.
Ugh.
Look, Mal Reynolds. Companions do, this is me saying it, they do more than just sexual acts.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. I have much respect for companions. We'll get into it more as we go on. That was merely to enhance the burn. But you're correct. I should have enhanced it less at the companion's expense.
But also, be a man.
Yeah.
All right. We're at 17 now, Bob. Who's your 17?
Oh, this hurts. This hurts so fucking bad. It's Jane.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It's Jane.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have...
Oh, it hurts you?
Oh, it hurts real bad. I have read a ton of Jane fanfic, like so much. We're not going to talk about it, but I have read so much Jane fanfic.
Taking down notes.
He is absolutely the one that sounds like the most fun to fuck, but there's a reason why it has to be fanfic. Fucking Jane Cobb for real, probably a 2-pump chump situation, and then he rolls over and tells you to get out.
2 is being generous.
Fanfic Jane is goddamn delicious. Canon Jane is an absolute nothing. But I want to fuck fanfic Jane so goddamn bad.
Rio, who's your 17?
Tracy Smith.
Okay.
He was definitely the type that I was into in college.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I am attracted to him physically, but he's not good at sex. But he's better than the rest, and therefore he's 17.
Fair enough. Cam, what about you? 17.
I'm more concerned for Rio right now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, college wasn't a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
General condolences.
To all of us.
Yeah.
My number 17 is Mal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because don't fuck that guy in particular.
Did not expect to be the highest on Mal Reynolds.
I just have no time for somebody who has all sorts of opinions that are trash and then pretends that they're worth anything and just happens to be surrounded by very good people that makes him think that he's a good person.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah.
doing the bare minimum of thinking, maybe I shouldn't steal from the poor.
Yeah, maybe I should put this hospital medicine back.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, what a good guy. What drugs are you on? And can I have some?
Yeah.
All right, well, my 17 is Bester. Just undeniably terrible in bed. I will accept it. Kaylee was not paying attention. I refuse to believe that she had any part of her focus on that fuck. I cannot imagine him lasting longer caring very much about his partner's pleasure. He's an idiot. Go away. 18. Bob, who's your 18?
This also hurts me, but in a different way. My 18 is Jubal Early. I am so goddamn compelled. I truly am. But, like, I gotta have some sense of self-preservation. And this man who casually jokes, question marks, about assault, definitely over the fucking line. I get it, bro. Like, you're a Joss Whedon character. You truly can't help it. Like, this is the best you can do. Buddy, I can help it. I could get through a fuck with him, but it would be terrifying and subpar in its up its own ass quality. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine fucking a moderately competent Elon Musk. No, thank you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awful.
I know. Instant boner killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I don't want to talk about sex anymore, Rio, who's your 18?
Good thing you don't want to talk about sex. It's Badger.
Oh
no.
I know how you feel, Bob, but that guy is UTIville. All right?
True story.
I mean,
He wants to feel big. He wants you to stroke his ego. And there is more ego than dick on that man.
yeah.
I'm not going to have a fun time.
Cam, who's your 18?
My number 18 is Atherton because I'd rather fuck a dirty poor person than a clean rich white dude because like I went to high school with that guy. Ugh.
1000%. He's also my 18. That is the reason I put him right behind Bester because like between the two of them, they're both like basically the same dude, but like one of them is fundamentally a better person for not having been born rich.
Yeah.
Like, Atherton is everything I said about Bester, but with 110% more meanness hidden behind false charm. That guy sucks.
And he's shitty to Inara, so fuck right off.
He's very shitty to Inara, so yeah. We're making our way down to the bottom here. We're at 19. This is the third to last entry. MeganBob, what do you got?
The counselor. This is, look, I really don't, I do not want to fuck someone tangled up in the politics of this world, no matter how fucking extraordinary she is. Can she finger fuck me so good that I forget that the political realities of the verse are a hellscape? She is damn welcome to try, but I doubt she can pull it off.
I actually thought about putting her lower for that exact reason, can I just say? And like,
it's just, ugh.
The reason I didn't do it was because I figured that if in the canon of the series, if she had really been involved with the Alliance in a high-powered way, like that episode would have turned into let's assassinate her. The reality of the situation, like in the real world, is that like it didn't turn into that because like she's only there because Joss Whedon thinks lesbians are hot.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the entire point of the character.
Which is an amazing, what a galaxy brain take.
Yeah, seriously. No one's ever had that take before.
I actually heard that Joss Whedon invented lesbians.
I believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
God.
such a feminist.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Joss.
Oh, boy. Get to the bottom. Here we go. Rio, who's your 19?
It is Jane Cobb, and
Yeah.
he's only this high because the other two I don't like.
My thoughts exactly.
MeganBob's right. He's a pump and dump. He doesn't clean it under his fingernails. He definitely hangs out in front of a high school. And he's a knife licker. He licks his knife.
That's hot.
No. What if there's poison on it?
Still hot. Still hot.
There's poison on that knife.
Yeah. He's my 19 too, in case you hadn't gathered. I was trying to give him a fair shake and not think about how much I hate Adam Baldwin while I was ranking him. But in the end, I couldn't get the pilot episode out of my mind where he gets like legitimately upset because the cop that he's like wants to torture gives up the information too quickly, so he can't torture him. He's like, I was gonna get me an ear, and I think this is like supposed to be played for laughs. He's a sadist and a traitor. The idea of being intimate with him makes my skin crawl. So that's why he's a 19. Again, only because the last two are worse.
I have other sadists that are much, much higher, but not this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Same. Cam, who's your 19?
My 19 is Mr. Universe.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know you've actually had sex with another sentient being?
The robot could be sentient.
Is she? Because she turns into a voice memo. She's a voice memo.
No, she's not.
She's definitely
not sentient.
She's not sentient.
She's a speak and spell.
ELOWJOB. Very good. No.
Rough. We're at 20 now. Bob, who is your 20?
Fess Higgins, I can get hot for a virginal young rule follower, but this is going to be all wrong for me. Where's my caged in hunger? I need it. He's going to make tender, proper love to me like a gentleman. No. I want him to turn into Animal from the Muppets when the glasses come off, and I am pretty sure I am going to end up with Kermit.
All right, Rio, who's your 20?
Commander Harkin. I literally had to Google him because I couldn't figure out who he was. He's a big old blank nothing for me. It's the vanillest of vanilla, and not even because he likes vanilla, but because he thinks that's how he should.
Ooh.
Workman-like. Chicken dinner. No spices.
Also, it's nice to have some people that everybody can rank low. Cam, who's your 20?
It was a good poll. My number 20, because I'm a sane fucking person, is Niska.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get cut to pieces and tortured in a room full of people, and he's not even doing the cutting. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
You'll find out. Listen, you'll find out later.
No, I know why. I've listened to the show before.
Cam, Cam knows me.
And everybody else at this point. You've converted everybody but me, I feel like.
Probably. My 20 is also Nishka, though,
Okay,
Cam, if it makes you feel any better. The only thing I have written down next to his name is nope, not into it. That brings us to number 21, the Nadir of each of our lists. Bob, who is last in the Firefly universe, the worst fuck in the verse.
Atherton Wing! Ugh. Ugh.
Pew, pew, pew.
I bet he fucking pouts. I bet he fucking pouts during sex if you don't act like he's amazing. I bet he's a mid-tier fuck who can't get out of his own way enough not to be a bottom-tier fuck. That's how shit he is. The fact that Inara could deal with him is only because she's had over a decade of training in managing dumb fuck assholes. I'm sorry, I'm good. I'm not good enough to turn this piece of Gosa into gold.
Ooh!
Boom.
Look at that.
Love it. Rio, speaking of that, who is your 21?
My 21 is Jubal Early.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He killed dogs,
Yeah.
and
It does.
that translated to sex is not a good time for me, specifically. And just so that I don't traumatize
No, I would hope
anybody with my truest feelings, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right, Cam, who's 21 for you?
Jubal Early!
Wow, okay.
Jubal Early! Because, okay, so this is how into Firefly I was before I understood everything. And this actually,
Yeah, right.
this is the episode that kind of broke me. And I will tell you why it's not what you expect. It's because I listened to the DVD commentaries.
Oh,
I don't remember it for this
no.
one.
Oh, no.
Joss Whedon
Oh, no.
said about this episode that it is to his philosophy as an objectivist.
Early's philosophy?
No, Whedon's.
Oh, Whedon's philosophy.
Whedon's
Yeah.
philosophy as an objectivist.
Oh, no.
And that was the representation of Jubal Early to kind of capture his beliefs and thoughts about the world.
Our Lord and Savior, lesbian Joss Whedon.
Seriously, how could he have done such a thing?
So, that aside, he makes Kaylee scared.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
And that is unacceptable.
Yeah, no, he's the worst. He's the absolute worst. My 21 is Commander Harkin because I don't fuck cops.
Nice.
Especially like right now in my current mindset, I was like kind of trying to play with it, play around. Maybe he'd be, you know what? He's just a regular ass, dumb fuck, white bread cop. He goes at the bottom. I would rather fuck the old torture dude. That was a lot, guys. We talked about some very not fun characters down there. Why do you say we work our way back up?
Phew.
We're going to head back to the median's position where we started, but only this time we're going to go up from there, which means, MeganBob, it's time for you to deliver your number 10.
Badger. Badger.
All right.
He will let me fuck him while I wear the hat. I do not
That's what matters.
care how much small dick energy he has going on. I want to fuck a man while I wear his hat, and he can and will give that to me. Also, Mark Shepard is everything to me.
He's great.
He's pretty amazing.
He is, and he does look fucking filthy in this, which is hot.
Rio, who is your number 10?
My number 10 is Simon Tam.
Whoa.
Yes, he is very stiff. It will take a little bit or a lot of bit of wiggling to get him out of his head. But he really loves his sister. And I don't know, that's a green flag for me.
Yeah.
He'll do anything for his sister. He'll do anything for me.
That's fair.
Cam, who's your number 10?
My number 10 is Tracy, because I too have dated that guy. And although they are stupid as shit, and you are, you are, you're probably listening, honestly.
You're very dumb.
Thank you for listening, by the way, and please become a patron.
Yeah.
But I need you to be good like you are in bed because you're a goofball, and that can be really fun. because you don't realize how stupid you are when you're in bed, and I'm not going to tell you because you won't recognize it anyway, and you'll forget 5 minutes later, and it'll still be fun. Not great, but fun.
Not great, but fun. My number 10 is also Tracy. There just really is something about a hot mess sometimes.
Yeah. He's so stupid.
I can't explain it, but like this is not lasting very long, but I bet it's a ton of fun while it does last. These are not people I want to like date for long periods of time.
This is fuck, not marry.
We are jumping right to number 9 because my number 9 is Tracy Smith. God damn it, Tracy Smith, if you were listening. I would love fucking you, you dumb bag of garbage. Love it. He's going to make problems and he's going to have the cop on of a fucking stoner on his third bowl of the morning. But I bet it is so goddamn fun. He is trash and I don't care. The fun, the joy, the goofiness, it's trash. It's true. It is trash, but it's so good.
He is the junk food of sex.
He is.
Yeah, it's really true.
He's like cotton candy.
Ugh. Just snorting a fucking pixie stick. God damn.
No. Oh, God, my sinuses.
Oh, takes me back. Rio, who's your number 9?
My number 9's Niska.
Yeah.
Okay. Please tell me why.
No, I don't want to know. I'm just going to take off my headphones right now. Look at the flowers.
So sorry. But it seems to me he loves his wife.
Yeah.
All right? And he's got big Dom energy. I don't know. He's just relentless. So definitely will get me edged for a while. And that seems like fun.
All right, I'm filing this one away for the unpacking segment. Cam, who's your number 9?
I'm going to stare off into space. No, my number 9 is Fess.
Okay.
And we've kind of talked about it a little bit about Inara teaching him, but after that moment of getting that done and having that door opened, I feel like he's an imaginative sort. He's read a lot and maybe the same fanfics that Bob has. And if so, I want to play.
My number 9, which I thought was going to be controversial, and is controversial, but for the opposite reason than I thought. My number 9 is Mal Reynolds.
Oh, yeah?
How dare you? How dare you have sex with him?
Look. I didn't come here to defend the man. What I have written down first is that he definitely, does know what he's doing. The sex that he's having with Nandy in Heart of Gold seems to be effective sex. She seems to enjoy herself, and I think she has fairly high standards.
I have truly never heard the phrase effective sex before, and it is rocking my goddamn world.
The thing about Mal is that, he's secretly very insecure, and he requires a lot of validation.
Yeah, he does.
And he also just, has so much natural bad luck that I'm very worried something will go terribly wrong during the sex. But, that said, if somebody comes at me with the vibe of Malcolm Reynolds, not him specifically, but with that vibe, that very confident, the cowboy swagger, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not susceptible to the cowboy swagger. And I think that the sex would be pretty good, decent, reasonable sex, cromulent sex.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I've gone long enough about him. Maybe he should be lower. I put him and Tracy right next to each other, him right about Tracy, because I feel like it's basically the same thing. It's just he's a little bit of an upgrade from Tracy. That's my only thought. Yeah, Cam's giving me a look right now. I'm sorry, I didn't know if I was going to rank him low.
Sometimes dudes rock, and other dudes think dudes rock, so...
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Just having fun making faces at Miles, I'll be honest.
Bob, who's your number 8?
Saffron.
Okay.
I want to go in on a guy together with her.
Love it.
I want to be her criminal wifey and fucking unsuspecting simp with her to get all his ill-gotten money and then leave him behind to find another one. I think she will turn on me eventually.
Sure.
But you cannot really put a price on memories of those titties.
All right. Rio, who's your number 8?
Big feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my number 8 is the operative.
Nice.
Yeah. Listen, I get what everyone sees, and I fully believe he is asexual.
Ooh.
So, in that vein, that he doesn't really want to use his own body, but will still want to fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of gadgets.
Yeah.
He's very mission focused.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll come as many times as you want. He'll just whisper sweet nothings in that accent of his. I think it's the ace part of it that really gets me. That he's still willing to fuck.
For a better world.
He's willing to fuck for a better world.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Cam, who's your number 8?
My number 8 is Shepard.
Okay.
I do not have a kink for the clergy, but if I met Shepard before he took his orders, I might have convinced him to be a grandpa.
Who says he's not?
He does regularly to Kaylee in the pilot.
A criminal doesn't always know what happens after he leaves that world.
That's true.
Oh, I don't deny it, but he does say it over and over when she keeps on calling him it.
Yeah, that's true.
My number 8 is Inara. I have a little mini tier here as well that starts with her. As people who have listened to other episodes with me are aware, I am a sucker for a high thread count.
Yeah.
I like some fancy shit sometimes. I like the nice sheets.
Who doesn't?
I like the idea. Like, I understand what you were saying about, like, somebody who you're not fucking her, you're fucking her skill set. But to me, that... I guess I'm having big feels about this. I don't know. But to me, someone who is that expert at the idea of, like, the idea of being a companion, to me, I feel like has the ability to transcend that. And even though there has been money exchanged in the sex, I think that it can be very personal for her and very, like, you know, I would absolutely like somebody who went to school for sex, someone who went to the sex academy has appeal for me, is what I'm saying.
No, I get you.
The only downside with Inara is that I feel like I would eventually get sick of the whole, like, candles and incense priestess vibe.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely work for a while, and I'm sure that, like, she knows how to change things up, because she went to sex academy. She knows these things. They probably have a class on changing things up. Moving on. Bob, who's your 7?
Shepard Daryl Book.
All right.
He's gonna make love. But I bet it is so fucking passionate and compassionate that it feels like you are being loved all the way through your whole damn self. Like, I think people cry during sex with Shepard. Like, on the reg. I am not too proud to sob on a man of the cloth.
That's fair.
Plus, I do have a serious thing for a man who knows scripture. Like, there's just something about it. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Oh my god, you just used the word shoot to mean, like, for real. I'm so proud of you right now.
Thank you.
Rio, who's your number 7?
My number 7 is Inara, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's basically a space geisha.
Mm-hmm.
So, technically, she is good at sex. But if she were to fuck, she's gonna be mad. She's gonna be mad. And, like, just the sheer passion in her eyes with her hair disheveled because she won't fuck in that perfect geisha persona. That's just sex. If she's fucking me, wow, she's all in.
Oh my god.
You're blowing my mind.
I want to put her higher, but I can't, again, because of the people above her. Cam, who's your number 7?
My number 7 is Kaylee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe first time we've heard her, yeah.
She has a teddy bear patch.
No.
And she's just so freaking cute. And if I were younger, but she could be my child.
Mm-hmm.
And so this has been very, like, I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, oh, she's obviously very good. The whole idea is that I'm into her, as well as her being into me. This is very awkward. I don't know what to do. You should have seen me. It was like, Kaylee was like the 2-year-old running around and you're trying to get them to go down for a nap and also change them into their jammies. Mm-hmm. And like their feet are sticking out of it like, oh, I'm sorry. I just gave Miles PTSD.
Oh, hey, I was going to say, flashbacks to literally yesterday.
But she's just so young. So I put her at 7, not knowing what to do with her and hoping that she'll just lay down and take the nap.
My 7 is Nandy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to put her above Inara because she is kind of similar to Inara, but like better in every way. She is not a working member of the Companions Guild. She is an independent matron in her own brothel. You know what Nandy is? She's basically like, what if Inara was also Mal?
Yes, duh.
I have Mal at 9 and Inara at 8, so Nandy goes at 7. That's basically where I'm coming from with this.
The math checks out.
We have reached number 6, MeganBob. Who's your number 6?
Nandy!
Okay.
Fucks like a goddamn slowed down jackhammer. You're going to feel every single thing she does to you. That rice wine is going to go to your head and you will lose all sense of everything except what she wants you to feel. Some people leave scratches. I think Nandy leaves fucking scars. Ugh. I love me a brothel matron. That is so fucking hot.
It's a fantastic and very sexy trope. Rio, who's your number 6?
Nandy.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, no,
there you go.
listen, everything I said about Inara, except for the whole being stiff as fuck whilst having sex. Her eyes, I know physically we're not, you know, we don't focus on that, but her eyes.
Go ahead. Nobody should have eyes that hot.
All I could do is stare in her eyes and her mouth while she tells me what she wants from me, and I will say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Cam, you're number 6.
My number 6 is the operative.
Okay.
I am not into deep and meaningful, but I dare you, and I do dare all of you, not to be wooed by that voice and gorgeous emotion regarding his mission and then lack thereof. Also, he got some moves.
It's true.
Absolutely.
It's fucking true.
Okay, well, I guess the time has come. I'm going to have some big feels here, because my number 6 is Jubal Early.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck?
Go on, Miles.
Oh, no.
So, like, part of this is just, like, I'm like Margin the potatoes. Like, I just think he's neat.
I mean, look, as a person who's fucked a lot of potatoes, like, I get you.
He's so weird and, like, so, like, articulate and thoughtful, but also a psychopath, and I guess, like, that specific combination is the way to my dick? I don't know.
Bob, what did you do to Miles?
And you came at me about Tom Bombadil. Fuck.
Bob, that was the first episode. I've grown since then.
All right,
Thank you.
all right.
Grown.
Do you think I mean that emotionally? I meant it physically. I would fuck the shit out of him. I'm like, I know it's like not gonna end well, but like in the I can fix him rankings, he's like,
No.
I probably can't fix him, but I'm absolutely still going to try.
Aw.
I am going to try, and I don't know what it is. There's a tiny kernel of humanity in that person that I really feel like I can dig out.
He kills dogs.
I understand that I have more faith in humanity than you do, Cam. We know this about each other. We'll get to it again when we get later on my list.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
I watched that episode. Personally, I understand that people have different experiences. I watched that episode, and the whole time I'm just like, there's something about that guy.
No,
I can't shake it.
you're not wrong.
That and River's feet constantly. That was a little...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. We have now, I believe, hit the top 5.
Yes, we have.
So that's a big deal. MeganBob, number 5 for you is whom?
Adelaide Niska, and I'm not apologizing one goddamn bit. He has a Tiffany lamp on his desk. And he will absolutely fuck me on that desk. Crow is probably going to watch.
Oh, I forgot about Crow.
Niska is going to keep the suit on, and he's going to offer me his handkerchief to clean up when he's done. There is something about fucking someone who is exactly what they say they are. Is he a ruthless murdering criminal? Absolutely he is. But he's very honest about it. It is not gossip. And he's going to let me keep the handkerchief.
He's Tywin Lannister.
He's a real Tywin Lannister. Yum, yum, yum.
I'm so glad that Monster Fucker Bob could make an appearance on this episode.
I think it's Peepums Bob
It is.
that got him that
do you
high.
think so?
It's both.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not a Peepums, but I am a monster fucker, and that's why he's
Yeah.
lower than Bob, but higher than you expect.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, since we're on the subject of your rankings, Rio, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Mr. Universe.
Mhm.
Wow, okay, I want to hear about this.
I'm gonna peg that twink.
Yeah! Yes!
That little
Yes.
virgin twink is gonna stare at his robot wife while I peg him
Oh.
over
Yeah.
some computer shit that he's got around. I don't know if it's expensive or not. You can afford it, bitch.
Yes! Yes!
You can afford to replace it.
Powerful.
Plus, he's clean because he's never had sex. So, unlike a lot of these people, you know,
Yeah.
we've established this. There's not a
Yeah.
whole lot of
Right.
antibiotics in space, apparently.
Right.
So,
Apparently. Unless you steal them off trains.
Everyone's got the clap.
All right, Cam, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is the counselor, but not for why you would think.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
It's not so much that, look, she's smoking hot.
Yes.
Everybody saw that. We have eyes.
Correct.
I want to know, and I think there's a little part in everybody, if we're able to get to the point where we might be, and maybe this is the dude in me coming out, we might be approaching as good as a companion.
Yeah.
Have we fucked enough and paid attention enough? Are we that in tune with our partner, whomever that might be, that we could reach that level? And if not, I want to improve.
Yeah.
I love that we've gotten to the top 5 and Cam is immediately like, yes, fucking self-judgment, personal challenges, let's go.
Look, I'm going to be laid on my back for 3 months. I gotta have something to occupy my time.
You gotta be you. You gotta be you. All right. My number 5 is another big feels. Because my number 5 is Saffron.
Yep.
The reason I want to talk about Saffron is because there are versions of this list with her at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I made one version of the list with her at number 20, I think.
Oh, wow.
And that's because whether she's into me or not, she's absolutely just using me for something. Even if she wants to have sex with me, as we presume she does, she still has, like, other agendas and other motives. But I thought about it, like, and I just, like, who the fuck are we kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Who are we kidding? I recently went back and I listened to the episode that Bob and I did with the Weird Choices episode, where we ranked fuckability of sports.
Yeah.
And
So good.
if you listen to that episode and you listen to what I had to say about football, you'd be like, Saffron has to be in your top 5 then, in that case, sir.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, man, I'm going to the special hell. I'm sorry.
Yay! You said the thing!
It's going to be some, like, wild, frenetic, on the run from the law sex with somebody who, again, went to sex academy. Like, she's got that aspect of her game, but combines it with lawlessness, outlaw, manipulative, terrible personhood. Which, again, I learn new things about myself on this show every time.
I mean, next month is fucking Cage Miss in July. I can't goddamn wait.
Awesome.
Here we go. MeganBob, who is your number 4?
Big feels, my only big feels. Mr. Universe.
Wow. Okay.
So he's kind of a weird dweeb. But look, can I sell you on having every single one of those screens on his display set up showing different porn moments while you fuck? Also, here, different porn of you and Mr. Universe, different angles, different moments, different locations on the station. You could fuck inside your own fuck sphere.
Cam is like, this is the bad place.
No.
Sorry.
You could surround yourself with yourselves and lose all touch with reality.
That's beautiful, Bob.
No takers?
No, that sounds terrible.
Look,
I'm sorry.
Bob, I'm gonna add to your little thing because I
Yeah.
still haven't talked about Mr. Universe enough. Apparently,
Yeah, go for it.
He has all the toys.
Yeah, he has everything.
All
Yeah.
of them.
Also,
He's got all of them.
he took the time to have a Jewish wedding ceremony with his sex bot.
That was hilarious.
Because he cared enough to honor the traditions that he believes in, because this is a real marriage in his opinion. This is meaningful. Also, look, David Krumholtz, if you're listening, you're not listening. But if you are listening, I have been hot for you since you were that one elf in the Santa Claus, and I am hot for you here. You can't stop the signal, baby.
I just don't.
Can't stop the signal.
Beautiful.
He was such a hot elf in that movie.
Such a hot teen elf.
Yeah.
Did you watch Numbers? I gotta ask.
I watched a little bit of it, and he was hot in that too. But like, Numbers didn't grab me, but his face always does. Goddamn.
Rio, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Zoe.
Oh wow, that's our first appearance on the list.
Lowest ranking for her.
I guess, but listen, the warrior woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets you far. It gets you real far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
But she listens to Mal too much.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I ranked him very low.
Interesting.
So she's too in her head and she listens to her captain a bit too much. And that's why she's number 4.
Gotcha.
But she is Zoe Washburn,
Yeah.
the most badass warrior woman with a body of a goddamn
Yeah.
Amazonian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she actually did play an Amazon in one of those Hercules movies. Or if not the series.
She did.
Not shocked. Cam, who's your number 4?
Well, I clearly don't follow the career of Gina Torres because Zoe is also my number 4. If you followed my feelings on hard choices, you know my love of a military woman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe is the ultimate military woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to ensure she's fast asleep when I'm done with her.
Aww.
Love it.
God, she's so fucking hot. She's so fucking hot.
She is.
She's so hot.
She's so hot.
I can't jump directly to her because first I have to rank her husband. Because my number 4 is Wash. There are only 2 options for sex with Wash. The first one is that it goes right and it leaves me completely breathless, which we've canonically seen him do to Zoe, incidentally. Or sex that goes wrong somehow and then turns into like a laughing, joking giggle fit, which I'm also hella down for. So like the floor is so high with Wash. There's just no way it's a bad time. I refuse to believe it. I don't know if you can quite get to the extreme highs of the people I have ranked above him, but like, it's a fucking leaf on the wind.
Yeah. He is.
Oh.
Watch how he fucks.
He did get penetrated.
Oh my
No!
No, we're not
my
talking.
God.
We're talking about it, but not. We're not. That's yeah. Number 3, then MeganBob. Who's your number 3?
Kaylee.
Okay.
She seems like the most fucking fun you can have. She's horny. She's cute. She's going to be nice to you. Best of all, she's down for multiple rounds. Does she wear overalls? Look, I truly don't remember whether she wears overalls.
She wears
Sometimes,
coveralls,
sometimes.
overalls.
There we go. Yeah. A woman with smudges on her face in like coveralls. That is unbeatable. Like, Viagra wishes it had results like that. So good.
The first time I saw her on anything, I was like, oh my god, they finally found the human gadget from Rescue Rangers.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
She has the little nose and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rio, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Saffron.
Okay.
The character, as you said, she's got training. She's always in it for the grift.
Yeah.
And she may betray me, but that butt though, that booty though.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good ass time before she kills you.
Listen, I will be betrayed. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've been ready for death. It's fine.
Cam, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Inara.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Because she's a trained companion sought across the verse.
True.
And, like, she can do all these different things that people are going to pay a lot of money for. Like, she talks to Kaylee when she does clean the little smudges off her face. Just a cutie pie. And she does this one thing where she combs Kaylee's hair. And I love when people, like,
Yes.
gently play with my hair.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing like a professional stylist
Oh my God.
to play with your hair properly.
Swoon. I forgot about that. Fuck.
So incredible. And I've never slept with a hairstylist.
Oh my God.
And now I have to go set up a very particular profile.
Oh my God. Fuck.
All right, well, we've already talked about her a lot recently. My number 3 is Zoe. Just imagine how strong her legs are. My God. Oh, my
Jesus.
God. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, if you know anything about me at all, you know that I'm a sucker for a Rhea Ripley type.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Oof.
I'm a sucker for a warrior woman. I want that warrior woman experience, especially when she's of higher rank than me.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yes. Take me, sir. Take me hard. Yeah, Zoe has been the top of my Firefly rankings list for much longer than this podcast has existed. Or near the top, anyway. So she slots in here at number 3. We're down to the top 2. MeganBob, who is your number 2?
Apparently, I'm the only one who truly gets it. Zoe. Zoe is my number 2. No one is going to grab your hair harder or handle you rougher than Zoe will. But she's also going to kiss you right on the forehead and clean you up herself.
Yeah.
Zoe is pure daddy. I am such a mark for it. Leave the gun holster on, please.
It is so rare to, like, meet or, like, sleep with, like, someone who's a veteran and has seen that much, like, combat and done so many things, but seems so, like, well-adjusted.
Yeah.
As in civilian life. Like, she's just like a nice person.
You guys gotta hang out in DC more often, I'm just saying. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, what's up?
Oh, I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Rio, who's your number 2?
Kaylee.
Aww.
Like we said, mechanic, smudge face, cutie patootie, but I really want to see her, like, after her hyperfixation, where she has to take apart and clean every single piece of the engine and tuck her into bed. And when she wakes up, I give her some breakfast. And after she wakes up after her coffee, give her the best orgasm. She deserves it.
She does.
Again, cutie patootie.
She does.
I also like me somebody who's, like, highly skilled in one area, because when they start talking about it, they'll go on and on and on, and I like watching people talk like that.
Me too.
I know. I love an info dump.
She's also my number 2. There are very few people who could make me enjoy sex when we both end up covered in engine grease. Because, like, generally having, like, sticky substances on my skin is not my jam.
I see what you did there.
The list of people who could do that is basically, like, my wife and Kaylee.
No.
So she is happy and horny and down for anything. She's down for anything.
Yeah.
The only person who can fuck up this encounter is me. Kaylee will never be the problem. Never.
Aww.
Cam, who's your number 2? Kim?
My number 2 is Big Feels.
Okay.
I hope you heard the paper rustling. That was intentional. My number 2 is Jane.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wow, alright.
Jane will trade Vera for you because he is that into you. Vera is a Callahan full-bore autolock, customized trigger, double cartridge, thorough gauge. The very best gun made by man. Jane desires you and treats you with at least the kindness he treated the worker in Heart of Gold. The man has stamina, he may not have brains, but who fucking cares? This isn't about poetry and song, folks. This is about a night with a man who possesses such physical skills that even Malcolm Banana Hammock Reynolds puts up with despite finding Jane so very distasteful. Hired guns are easy to find compared to mechanics and pilots. Jane has stayed, even after betraying. Mal knew, and I am no Goram fool.
I love you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. We have arrived. We've broken through Atmo and arrived in the beauty of space where we'll find the top-ranked characters on each of our list. Bob, will you do the honors and let us know who is your number 1?
Wash.
Perfect.
Perfect wow boobs.
Mm-hmm.
He will enthusiastically revel in anything you do together, whether that's making out in the shower or fucking like dogs back in your bunk. He is so goddamn perfect that I don't even mind the little mustache. He can bring the dinosaur action figures too. I am all in on this fuck. He is absolutely going to be the one who is down to make post-sex grilled cheese sandwiches. He is pure upside, and I would 100% marry him because I am not fucking stupid. He is amazing. I love him.
Yeah, if this was pure marriage, if this was like life partner, he'd be number 1 for sure for me.
Alan Tudyk did something so special with that.
Rio, who is your number 1?
Wash.
Yeah!
Okay. There you go.
He not only wooed Zoe, he rocks her world on a regular basis to the point where she just falls asleep afterwards. He's good at sex, but not just that. I think if I asked him on that first night, hey, can you trim off your mustache? He'd say, sure, because he grew it for the lulz. He is going to make me laugh in bed, and that is the best thing. I love having funny sex. It's just gonna be a good damn time, and that's why Wash is my number 1.
Yes.
I can't assail the logic. I just can't. Cam, who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Nandy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't change over all these times I've been on hard choices, because if you're gonna give me a choice, I'm gonna pick the hooker.
Yeah. That's fair.
She is the right choice. She's the good choice. She's the best choice. She's honest, she's trained, she's funny, and she's not hung up on a guy 2 steps from a himbo.
I love it.
Nandy for 2024.
Yeah, for real.
Oh god, if only.
I could only put one character at number 1 once I thought about it enough. And this is big feels for me. My number 1 is the operative.
Really?
Nice.
The government man?
Well, you'll recall that by the end of Serenity, he explicitly says, I am no longer their man. He's very disillusioned. He has...
I get it now.
Wounded. Yeah, okay.
You're gonna fix him, Miles.
Yeah.
You're gonna fix him.
Good job.
Okay, so here's what I have written down right next to the big feels part. I can fix him, I can fix him. Oh my god, this is I can fix him crack cocaine. This is the I can fix him of all I can fix. I personally can fix him. Do you understand? This man has been disillusioned by his government. He believed in like creating a better world of the goodness of humanity, and he's been betrayed, and he's stared into like the evil things his government does, and he's decided he can no longer be a part of it. He's self-aware about the things he's done. Do you know how awful that is? He believes, he knows the things he has done are terrible things, but he did them because he believed in a better goddamn world. We are like 5 or 6 layers of trauma away from him being the perfect fuck. Like, he's just like, he needs to come to me that I might repair his damaged soul. And also, I'm not going to say the actor's name because I always mispronounce it, but he's fucking ridiculously hot. And
yes.
I cannot. I had him at various places, and then it all just like clicked for me, and I realized, oh my god, he is the ultimate. Like, come to my sexual social sciences class, and we will fuck away the pain of being betrayed by the non-existence of the American dream together.
Oh,
I so wish everyone could see Miles on camera right now, because that was fucking brilliant.
I'm so happy for you, Miles.
Yeah.
I'm so happy
Thank you.
for you.
I was happy when I realized it. I was like, that makes me very thrilled.
Also, yes, Chiwetel Ejiofor has the most gorgeous lips in the fucking universe.
Yeah.
He could fucking order off a
Everything.
Wendy's menu and I could listen for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's fucking
God
for
damn.
real. Be the Wendy's menu. Anyway, all right. Alright, well, the war's long done. We're all just folk now, and well-fucked folk at that. But I really am going to need to get some of you to talk more about why you feel the way you feel, and since I don't have a torture machine handy to electroshock you into speaking your feelings, we will have to use Let's Unpack That. Who wants to go first?
I kind of want to just come for MeganBob, but I can't even remember why. I just remember going, none of it made sense. Oh my god.
Because they put Niska at number 5? I don't know. Just a guess.
Everybody's coming for MeganBob.
No. That I expected. I expected that.
Yeah, heyo.
That was an obvious one.
That's true. And I very much expected, like, you did the operative ranking, Bob. I'll get to it. Let me just get to it now.
Simon at 15 kind of surprised me, honestly.
Really?
For Bob?
Yeah, because you love to tell a boy what to do.
I do love to tell a boy what to do, but Simon feels like he's going to be like so up his own ass that he can't actually cooperate. I think he might listen, but I think he'd be so conflicted within himself about what to do and like be kind of fighting his own social code about shit that it would be a whole thing to deal with. And it's like, ugh, fucking go to therapy like the rest of us.
You'd think his parents had already sent him by now.
Right?
I think they don't believe in therapy. I think they're like that.
Well, they did send their child off to a murder school.
Yeah, right?
That's a good point.
They're bad parents. I mean, I don't know if that's a hot take, but they're bad parents.
No, they're bad parents. They didn't listen at all when River was clearly trying to say, help me.
Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah, clearly.
They had the kids for the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 100%.
They were to perform.
I have a question for Rio about Nishka.
Yeah.
So one of the things you mentioned was that he clearly loves his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, did you get that from the part where he, like, tortured and killed her nephew? Like, or what what part is that coming from?
Yes, actually. So
okay.
He could easily go after all of that guy's family. He could easily be like, you betray me? Well, no more bloodline. But he's willing to put up with his wife nagging at him for killing her nephew.
Yeah, that's love.
Without, like, retaliation. He'll just be like, I know, dear, I'm sorry. But you know how these things go. And she'll be mad at him for days, so he'll start bringing her chocolates and flowers.
No.
I love this headcanon. I love it so much.
Like,
Oh my god.
he has to do it for his job, but you shouldn't be mad at him. He loves
Like,
you.
it's not personal.
He's not afraid of the marital consequences that will come with killing a member of your wife's immediate family.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna have to sleep on the couch tonight.
But he'll do it.
Oh, well.
But goddamn it, it's worth it.
Yeah, because he loves his wife. He's like, you know what? I will sleep on the couch. You're right. Like, I shouldn't have done it. I mean, I had to do it for work reasons, but like, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so yes.
But I love you and I respect your feelings.
All right.
Him killing her nephew is what made me think, oh, he loves his wife.
That's all I needed to hear.
Miles, you went and rewatched
Yes.
all of everything.
I did.
And you were the only one who placed Mal above the median. I was curious, in your rewatch, other things didn't age well, you know. I fully expect that to be the case.
Yeah.
Was it that you went back and you still had the feelings? Like, you still were like, yeah, that feeling's still there, man.
When I ranked Mal at number 9, I legitimately thought that was going to be controversial in terms of how low it was. I did not realize I was
Really?
entering into a... Yeah, I did. Well, because, like,
I mean, I get you.
my sense of Mal in sort of the, like, the metafiction, like where Firefly stands in, like, the culture, the nerd culture, is, like, Mal is considered, like, one of the premier, like, hot dudes of sci-fi.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
You know, again, I know this is not my experience, like based on the women that I know that loved Firefly. And he has, I just think that, like, there's a certain baseline for him where, again, the swagger, the vibe, when I'm feeling that kind of, like, vibe from him, I do find it very appealing. Half of it, I really think that, like, at least half of it is in the way Fillion plays the character rather than what is written for the character.
Oh, definitely.
So, like, what I'm really saying is that Nathan Fillion has a baseline, has a baseline floor that I wasn't willing to go below, but he infuses the character with such charm and just so much like weird life and energy, despite the fact, and like it's very sexy energy, despite the fact that like objectively, when you look at his character and you look at the script of the show, maybe he shouldn't be that charismatic, maybe he shouldn't be that hot, but Fillion gives him that, and so I think that has to be considered as like part of the vibe. So I just wasn't willing to put him. I was like, I went in going, Mal's going to be in my top 10. He's going to be low in my top 10, but he's going to be in my top 10.
I mean, Nathan Fillion he's very good. Like, he's just very good and important.
I also rewatched all of Firefly, and
oh shit,
that's why Mal went so down, so far down for me. Ugh. I guess it goes into the universe sexiness portion, but yeah, no, his whole character left a bad taste.
I don't blame you at all for that, for sure. There's a lot of things about Firefly that have not aged well, and I want to talk about a lot in the universe fuckability, but like, to me, in hard choices for a while now, I have been not letting my personal distaste for a character's like morality or philosophy disqualify them from being a good lay.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Proud of you,
yeah.
Except for concerned.
That brings me to you, Cam. You were the only one who had the vision to like believe in Jane. And I just want to say like, thank you. Thank you for bringing back what, like, I knew that to be true in my heart, but I couldn't bring myself to put those words down because I was like, no, you know what? I was too afraid of being bullied. That's what it was.
Oh, no.
I was too afraid.
We would never bully you,
I know,
MeganBob.
I'm joking. I was really like, no, this is probably Bob goggles. Like, it probably wouldn't be. But I should have trusted.
Mm-hmm.
I should have believed.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Cam, thank you for like affirming that Jane fucks like a champ. Because
I want to point out, I wrote this on my lunch break by hand.
Yes.
And I looked up exactly what he says about Vera, because I was like, I need to hear that passion in that man's voice about his fucking gun.
Yeah.
See, to me, that the Vera speech was an argument for his low placement. Because if he, like, feels more passion or as much passion for a goddamn gun that he feels about me, get the fuck out of here, you know what I mean?
No. He was willing to give up the gun.
Right. For Christina Hendricks.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. You know what I looked like back when that show was on? I had that body. I miss that body a lot. A lot.
Maybe I'm too hard on myself.
Don't even. Get out of here. Bye-bye.
How did you know that Mr. Universe needed to be pegged? Because you're so right. Like, what was the moment that you were like, oh, obviously?
Honestly, as we were recording. He was ranked high even before I realized, oh, I'm going to peg that twink. Just because I am not usually into virgins, but there's something about a man that I can make flustered, potentially cry.
Yeah.
And has all the gadgets in the world, but also he's online all the time. He's got the weird kinks, and I read Omegaverse. So.
Yeah!
Wow!
I love Omegaverse.
What is Omegaverse?
Oh.
That's another podcast.
We don't have time.
I could do a whole lecture on Omegaverse if you ever want that. I'm just saying.
Oh, so that's an info dump.
Yes.
There are also some very good Lindsay Ellis videos about it.
Yeah, there's a lot to know. You know what? You're so right. Like, he's going to have all the freaky deaky shit that he's like, yeah, I'm super into this stuff. I love him.
Intellectually, I think I'm into it, but I kind of want to try it. And I'm like, yes, try everything. Let's go.
Aww.
What if him and Fess got together?
Oh man, that could be a thing. I think they could make some magic together. That would be good for them.
Yes.
Now I want to, like, read a fan fiction of those two exchanging fan fiction.
Right.
Although we've got some natural pairings already in the list, so
that's true.
We're gonna have some like interesting pairings that we can speculate about.
All right, it is now time to reveal the final list, which will be broadcast across the verse because you can't stop the signal.
Let's get it.
So, at the bottom, coming in at number 21 in our combined rankings, is Atherton Wing.
Yo, fuck.
Couldn't have happened to a worse piece of shit.
Looks like Rio was highest on him at 16.
Listen, he washes, and that bumped him up much higher on my list than he should have.
Well, and Bob put him last, which really was an anchor on him. At number 20 above him is Commander Harkin.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes cops. At 19, we have Jubal Early. That is entirely
your
me.
fault.
I did
Your
that.
fault, Miles.
I did that. Yep, I know. At number 18, we have Jane Cobb.
Robbed because of Bob's cowardice.
I know. He should have been much closer to the median. I do apologize.
At number 17, we have Fess Higgins. At number 16, we have Bester, who had a pretty closely aligned spread. He only went from 11 to 17, which is, I guess, is not close, but still. Tied for 14, Mal and Nishka. Tied at 14.
They had a hell of a scene together.
They did.
They
Yeah,
really
they did.
did.
They were the most intimate out of anybody we saw.
Do you want to meet the real me now?
Niska
Yeah.
wanted it to last 2 days at least.
That's true. Minimum. Yeah, that's a good point. Then there's something very, like, you know, I wonder if Sean Yu ever wrote, like, any kind of Kama Sutra type work. You know what I mean? In addition to, like, all his other military shit. Then we have another tie at 12 between Simon Tam and Badger.
I got nothing.
Ooh.
I got nothing. Nothing explains that one.
But they would both hate it. It would be amazing.
Simon only made it into Rio's top 10. Everybody else, he was bottom 10.
I like clean hands. Okay.
I don't blame you for that.
That's not unreasonable.
Which is funny because, like, the Simon and Badger pairing is, like, the dirtiest character and the cleanest character together.
yeah, it is. Oh,
Best.
Oh my god, they could do an odd couple.
Oh, they would
They really
so
could.
be the odd couple. Oh, God.
Will they or won't they? Yeah. 11 is the counselor, so the person that I thought of as the biggest blank slate comes in as the median character, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the counselor had 2 13s, 1 19, and 1 5 from Cam. So
You're welcome.
appreciate you evening that out. Number 10, we have Tracy, who was a 9, 10, or 10 for 3 of us. Tied for number 8, Shepherd Book and Mr. Universe.
No, no one can explain that. No.
That is some wild ass shit. They
No.
do not belong together. They probably shouldn't even talk to each other. I don't think that's I
They
think
never
they have nothing
do.
to say to each other.
a Jew and a priest walk into a spaceship.
All right, another tie at number 6 between Inara and the Operative.
Huh.
They did have some time together in the temple before Mal showed up there. I wonder if anything ever Sparks happened at all.
You know-
I mean, Sparks literally happened when she blew him up with incense, but
They are both good at their jobs.
that's true.
Yeah,
They're very
exactly.
competent.
And they're both trained by, like, they're creatures of...
Oh my god, they would have such precise sex. Such
Oh,
like
that's a good point.
such studied, careful, thoughtful sex.
That's tiring.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that at all.
No. They'd be great for porn, though.
It would be. Going into the top 5, we have Saffron at number 5. She had a high ranking of 3 and a low ranking of 11, so decent spread on her, but she evens out right there in the 5th spot. Nandy's at 4.
Good.
I like that we have all 3 of the companions right there together, 4, 5, 6. Nandy's at 4. She got 6 or 7 rankings from 3 of us, and then, of course, a 1 ranking from Cam, and I can't dispute it. Wash is at 3. Definitely would have been higher, if not for Cam's ranking of Wash, because he is 1, 1, 4, and 12.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
that's okay. That's okay.
He's for Zoe.
Kaylee comes in at number 2. Again, Cam dragging her ranking down a little bit because she's 2, 2, 3, and 7 for Cam.
Look.
Top 3 for everyone else. And then number 1, with a bullet,
Indisputable.
Zoe Washburn.
Yep.
Of course.
Did not get a number 1 ranking.
But is the number 1 on the master list, which is why the system works.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because she's 2, 3, 4, and 4. So she is objectively like, she's top 4 for everyone.
Yes.
She is.
That list makes sense to me.
Objectively amazing at sex.
Yes.
Indeed.
Correct.
100%. And the counselor is the median.
Yeah.
And Atherton's the lowest.
And Atherton's the lowest. It all makes a lot of sense to me. All right. We have now fucked our way through Serenity and most of the planets she's visited, so it's time now to take stock of the verse as a whole. How fuckable is the world of Firefly?
Man, 3 boners. 3 boners out of 10. This world is trash for the most part as far as like sex appeal goes. I mean, there's some characters that I'm like into, but my meh starts so fucking soon.
Interesting.
Like, it's a fun world in some ways.
Where does your meh begin?
Probably like number 9. I start getting like meh. And even then, like I'm not desperate for Shepard or for Saffron. Like, my hell yes don't start until number 5 with Niska, because I'm trash.
Usually you have hell yes a lot lower than that.
Oh yeah, usually my hell yeah is still at like, 15. I'm still like, fuck yeah, all in.
Right.
I'm sorry. I wish I like...
No, it's fine.
You're allowed to not want things, Bob.
Oh, thank you.
It's a good... Proud of you.
I would honestly go as high as like 8.5 bonus for Firefly.
Whoa.
Fuck.
I honestly think the characters are very attractive for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
I would go down to like I have Simon at 15. Like, I'd fuck Simon. Like,
Okay.
I'd fuck Simon and everybody above Simon. So,
Wow.
It's like, so to me, and partially it is nostalgia for the series, even though I revisited it and it did not stand to power. I would honestly give it 9, but the actual world itself, the society of Firefly, the world building of Firefly, especially now, I just can't with this.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to reflect overly much on the characters, because for the most part, I think the characters are well drawn. Whedon has always been good at characterization, but the fucking Confederate thing, like, whatever. I don't even care. Like, it's weird. It's ridiculously weird that you decided to give your fucking protagonist like some like weird Confederate shading, but like that's not even the biggest problem I have.
Yeah.
The biggest problem for me probably is the fact that like you've got this world where you clearly are wanting to like prove your progressive feminist credentials by making sex work a like very high class honored thing, but you're giving away the game because everybody still calls them whores.
Yes.
Everybody, and nobody more than the protagonist of the series.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me, oh, look how progressive and feminist I am, because, like, I created a class of women who take the profession of sex work and make it an honorary, noble, almost religious thing, and yet fucking the shepherd is, like, turned off by her when she first shows up, fucking Atherton calls her a whore. Like, everybody, like, all these people treat her like garbage. The women in the Heart of Gold episode and the brothel Nandy's girls, like, that entire episode, which I love that episode, but, like, you're not going to tell me that episode takes place in a world where sex work is this revered thing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Fucking Joss Whedon.
So that was just you wanting to pretend to be a feminist while also telling women what you really thought of them, you piece of shit.
Yeah!
And this is a show that I have a lot of deep love and affection for 20 years now. It had been a while since I revisited it, and I've been meaning to do it for some time, and it's really not what it was cracked up to be. It does not hold up all this time later. I'll go down to 8 boners for it, but I'm gonna go to 8 though, because I really do think that so many of these characters are so very hot and so very fuckable. The character roster is like a 9. The world of Firefly is like a 2.
Yeah, I would rank this world 2. 2 out of 10 boners because of a lot of what you said, but as a queer, trans-masculine person living in this day and age, but to be in Joss Whedon's world where suddenly we're in the 1800s but in space and nobody washes and it's all heteronormative and you see like 2 gay people, I won't be comfortable there.
Yeah.
No.
And no matter that these characters are fuckable, but to be honest, a lot of that was my own imagination and having to really interpret, like Niska.
Yeah, right.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the only reason he ranked so high, because I put my ideas onto him about what he was gonna be like in bed.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody here would be comfortable in the world of Firefly.
No, that world just gives me the ick.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it as a teenager, as many teenagers loved it. And now as an adult with a fully formed brain, I think, it's not horny for me. I don't want to go read Jane fanfiction. Sorry, Bob.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
That's a good point.
I just need to say this before I forget to say this. Where are the Asian people?
Right?
Yeah, they're all speaking Chinese. Yeah, I know.
Right?
They're all speaking Mandarin. And by the way, it was like early 2000s slang that they were using specifically.
Yeah.
So, that brilliant move. But where are the Asian people? There's no Asian people. I don't understand where the Asian people went.
They went into their own galaxy.
Makes no sense.
Right? For me, this is like a 4 just because... So I was watching this in my early 20s. So again, brain isn't formed by then, kids. That's okay. You're still a really good person. It's just that things are going to click and it'll feel better. I even bought babywash.org after I saw Serenity because I was damned determined
Oh, yeah, sure.
to start my own charity to get vaccines for kids in third world countries.
Aw.
Because
That's awesome.
Hi, I'm Cam Servo, and that's how I think.
Yeah. That's how you roll.
But I didn't do it because I was like, making barely above minimum wage at the time and a crappy job. But I was so about this world and I loved it so much. And I knew a lot of the flaws. I learned a lot more. But no. And I never really liked Mal, so that was how my brain was a little bit more formed.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a teenager, but yeah, nah. And also, fuck Adam Baldwin, and not in the good way.
Yeah.
Sort of like what Rio was saying. I have a lot of personal appreciation for what the Firefly universe is in my head. Like what my version of it is, what my headcanon of it is, but I don't have a lot of affection for what is actually on the screen.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my walkaway moment?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready for this?
Go for it.
Whedon said in an interview that the reason that Inara left Serenity in the movies is because she's dying of an incurable disease.
What?
What the
What?
fuck?
Yup.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's so messed up. Of course she is. Of course she is, because Mr. fucking Feminist over here loves nothing more than women who are in pain, or crying, or need to be helped. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I hate it
It's
so
so
much.
tragic when they get infected by plot.
Well, as we get ready to say our over-dramatic goodbyes, there is one question we still have to ask, which is, what did we learn today? MeganBob, what did you learn today?
I think I learned that I should trust that the guy who's probably not that great is actually genuinely that great. And I should just no, I'm kidding. That's not what I learned here today. I learned that grilled cheese after sex is truly the best thing ever. And that Wash is an angel.
I love it. I'll go next. I learned that my opinion of Malcolm Reynolds as a fuckable character is not controversial. I feel like I'm a little bit late to this party because I feel like other people sort of went back to Firefly and had these observations before, today, or this past week when I rewatched it. But, it is nice to know that having come to these conclusions about how little Firefly holds up, there are other people who are yes, please, we welcome you in.
Yeah.
We also feel this way.
You're not alone.
No.
It was a product of its time.
It was a product of its time, and its fucking awful creator.
Ugh.
Cam, what did you learn today?
Today I learned that I'm still about hookers and blow.
Hell
Yeah.
I still don't like dirty people, mean people, evil people, or people who are going to hit me with sharp things or blunt things. And I still like people who know how to have the sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Hell
smart.
yeah. Awesome.
A sense of self-preservation. And that I'm really, really hard up because, I probably shouldn't say a 4 or a 5.
All right. And finally, Rio, what did you learn today?
I learned that I really like funny people.
Yeah.
And I really need you to wash your hands.
I appreciate the rest of y'all related that directly to the list. I just didn't want to like be out here and be like, I learned that apparently Jubal Early is my type. Who fucking knew?
And that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you all so much for being here. And now comes the part where you get to plug the stuff that you are doing. All right, Rio, do you have stuff you'd like to plug?
I am a regular on a podcast, an actual play podcast where we play Spelljammer and we make it gay.
Nice.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Called Gem Jammer from the Crooked Russian Cam Podcast Incorporated. You can go to crookedrussiancam.horse. You can use .com, but that's not fun.
You should use .horse.
You could use .horse or .gay. You know, we're going to see which one gets there. I am an illustrator, but because Twitter became a bad place and I am tired, I don't have any social media to plug.
Good for you.
That's the right choice.
You can just go to riorios.com if I still have that up. I don't actually remember if I renewed that subscription. Oh well. You can look at stuff that I made there.
You know how to Google.
Hell yeah. All right. Cam, what about you?
I have a thing.
What do you have?
What's your thing?
Miles doesn't even know.
I don't.
Oh?
So I am currently setting up a Twitch stream in which I'm writing a story that involves spiciness that I can't include, but some other stuff that I want feedback on as I'm writing. And so I'm hoping to do that at least every other weekend.
Holy shit.
And if MeganBob ever has a chance to be a part of that, I would be so very honored. And Miles, you don't have time. But I would.
I might.
It would be.
The smaller one's going to school soon. Don't rule me out.
Okay. So this would be a weekendy thing, likely, especially since I'm not going to have work for a little while.
Sure.
I need something so I do not lose my mind. So this is the thing. It's a book I've been writing, and I found it, and I had started it in 2009.
Ooh.
Oh, hell
Nice.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's very exciting.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Rio, I was already married and had been married for 5 years.
Oh, am I the baby here?
You are the baby here.
I'm baby.
Quite possibly.
You are.
I graduated college 10 years before you graduated high school.
Your skin's all gorgeous.
I know, right? Cam moisturizes. All right, Miles, what about you? What do you have to plug?
The only thing really these days is that I remain, as always and forever, a co-host of the Unspoiled podcast, which is the brainchild of Natasha Winters, who just does way more stuff than anyone should reasonably have to do on a podcast.
Truth.
I don't think any of the stuff that we do now is available for non-patrons, so if you want to listen to me on that show, you would have to become a patron, but I strongly encourage you to do that.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Totally worth it. Do it.
We are currently covering, and have been covering for a while. It's been a while since I've been on, so I'll just say again, Unspoiled is a show where usually it's two hosts, and they consume like a book or a book series, or like a movie or a movie series or a TV show, and one person has watched or read it before, and the other person has not. And they usually go like chapter by chapter or 2 chapters at a time, something like that, or like, episode by episode. Natasha and I have done a ton of shows together. And currently we are very close, all things considered, to being done with the Charlaine Harris, Sookie Stackhouse,
Holy shit.
Southern Vampire Mysteries.
Sookie.
For if you don't know what it is, that's the books that True Blood was extremely loosely based on, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. There were times when it was less fun, but for the most part, it's been a lot of fun. And we are just digging deep into the series. I've been very in love with it. As soon as we get done with it, I think we're going back to Mistborn is the plan, because we did
Holy
Mistborn right up until because we were waiting for the next book to come out, so we were doing Mistborn for a while. Yeah, and we talked about maybe doing the True Blood show at some point and other stuff. We most recently talked about doing Breaking Bad because I've never seen it, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've never seen it either, so I would watch with you.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, strongly encourage everyone to go over to the Unspoiled Patreon and sign up for that. There's a bunch of stuff we've done before. We did a bunch of Game of Thrones stuff, and Tasha and I did.
Yeah, you did.
Black Mirror and fucking Dark Tower and Twilight.
Sorry. Dark Tower coverage was so good.
Oh my
The Dark
God.
Tower to Converge was a trip.
And that's free. It's free if you want to check that out.
So there's a whole bodywork over there. That's the only podcast I do with any regularity anymore because I am a grown-up person now with a real job. Although, boy, does it ever not feel like that most of the time. MeganBob, you promised me a while ago that you would get on a call with me and Chris so that I could vent about pro wrestling and my feelings about working in pro wrestling.
I know.
And we gotta do that soon because I have lots of things to get off the chest.
Oh, Miles.
But I can't complain. I can't complain because this job is feeding my family and paying for our healthcare. So,
Healthcare's good.
for the record, if anybody out there needs a news source for pro wrestling news, you should go over to WrestlingInc.com because the more traffic we get, the less likely it is that they shit can me. So,
Go over there. Give Miles clicks.
appreciate you.
And I'm MeganBob, and I am the mastermind. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
Behind Hard Choices. Please go over to
Certainly the masturbator.
masturbate. I mean, got a free hour every now and then. And I would very much appreciate it if you would go over to patreon.com/hardchoices and become a patron of this wonderful show, because there is bonus content. And that is also how you get to have access to bad choices, which we do periodically whenever we get drunk, and then rank characters in the filthiest way you can possibly imagine. The last thing we did was Hanna-Barbera. We're working on getting the podcast version of that ready for our patrons, which is going to be some filthy shit. The other thing that would mean the fucking world to me, if you're like, I don't got $1, that's okay. If you would go leave a review for this show, because I think people are afraid to listen to it. I think people do not have the fortitude, the strength, the heroism that you, listener, have. They lack that. You need to communicate with them. You need to share with the masses what this show is and why people should listen to it. So that way others who are not as brave as you can take that first step, can become one of us and start ranking things in ways that probably people maybe like, that maybe that's not how people should think about Jubal Early, Miles. But you know what? We want to bring them in. We want to bring them into the fold, into the sexy folds of sheets. So if you would go over to wherever it is you get your podcast and leave a rating and review, that would be fucking fantastic. Spotify, that's real good. I mean, I don't like Spotify, but I do appreciate the rankings. Apple, wherever you do it, I would love it. That would be wonderful. So if you would do that, that would be a fucking big favor to me personally.
Pro tip for getting people into the podcast. It's like if you ever come across this kind of person, my mom recently asked me for podcast recommendations, and my mom is very much into politics. You know what I mean? She's a very political person.
She gave birth to you?
So I told her that I had this great podcast for her that was about electoral politics that was called Hard Choices.
Oh, no.
And I signed her up for the feed.
Why would you do that, Miles?
Well, my mom and I have a complicated relationship. We don't have to get into it right now.
It's proven by Jubal Early.
Okay, well, I guess you can flat out lie like Miles does, or you can also tell the truth about what you enjoy about this podcast. That would be wonderful. And if you want to be real brave, you can come back next month because we are going to have Cage Miss in July Part 2 as we fuck nothing but Nicolas fucking Cage for a whole episode.
Here we go.
It's going to be... I mean, look, I am always hot for whatever the fuck Nick Cage is up to. So strap the fuck in.
Hell yeah.
All right. Until then, stay hard.
This has been Hard Choices. If you want to show your support and get even more goofs from behind the scenes, visit patreon.com/hardchoices and become a patron. You'll get exclusive voting rights and participation in every weird new thing we do. If you like the show, please consider leaving a 5-star rating and review on the podcatcher of your choice. It shows people what's fun about the show and makes it easier for others to find it too. This episode produced by Lucas Brown of The Math of You. That's me. I also produce I Will Fight You for Crooked Russian Camp and Apocrypals for Clytus Media. Our theme song is Funk Me by Soundroll. This piece and all music used in this production is licensed through Uppbeat. You can find more details in our show notes and find more great tunes at uppbeat.io, spelled UPPBEAT.io. The Hard Choices logo is designed by Claire Mulcairn. If you'd like to get into touch with us, look for the Smash Fiction Fan Faction on Facebook and join the conversation. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us. You're a peach.
Like I get, bro. Oh, sorry, my son is barking. Hold on. I know. You're not wrong. Okay. He did one final oh. I'm like, yep.
Oh, since we're talking about Fess again, by the way, somebody earlier said that he had a night with Inara, so he must have learned something. Trust me. Men must have not done anything. We don't have to have learned anything. The number of times that I've been told, you must have learned something from that experience, despite the fact that it was clear I did not, cannot be counted on 2 hands.
Somebody here reporting from the front lines of masculinity.
Yeah, but that's not giving it. Inara is like a Boy Scout. She's gonna leave it better than where she found it.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
She's
That's a good
gonna
point.
leave it better than how she found it. All right, and did you see how wide his sitting stance was at the end of his scene?
Oh
that
my
boy
God.
got his world rocked.
That's fair.